Hi guys, and welcome back to AstroShed. My name is Stuart. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to anybody that's subscribed, anybody that's watched any of my videos. The last video I did seem to go down really well, and it's doubled the amount of subscribers that I've now got, and it's also caused a lot of discussion, and I had a lot of good feedback from it as well. So thanks very much again for that. So in this video I want to talk again a little bit about the Esprit 100 and also the Esprit 120, and a couple of, I suppose you could call them tips, ideas that I had. Now my Esprit 120 here to my left, you can see that between the flattener and the actual adapter on the back of the tube I've got a spacer. Well, this is what I want to talk about. So on a traditional Esprit, when to get focus, you'd have to have the focus tube out roughly about 75 millimeter, which when there's only 90 millimeter of focus travel, to have it out by 70 to 75 mil, I think is quite a lot. And it can introduce, depending on what you've got on the back, an element of sag in the optical train, and also, which is a big issue at the moment, also it could cause a bit of tilt. So what can we do about it? And as you can see here, I only have my focus tube out around 25 or 30 millimeters, and that's due to this spacer here between the flattener and the back of the tube. So on the back of the tube you've got this M74 millimeter spacer, M74 millimeter adapter to an M65, and then normally what you would do is screw your flattener on there, and then you would have 55mm back focus with all your accessories on the back. But your focus tube then has to be out roughly 75mm. Well, what I did was I tried to find a spacer to go into this gap between these two so that the focus tube could go back in a bit, and then hence maybe not get any sag or introduce any tilt. But this thread is M65. M65 spacers are just, I can't find any in the UK. If anybody out there does know of any, then please let me know. But I came across these on Aliexpress in China, M65 spacers. They do a range of 4 sizes. This is the 27mm version. I've also got on here at the moment the 36mm version. And you'd probably think, oh, M65, it's an unusual size, I bet they're expensive. Well, this particular one was £15 including shipping. Yes, it took 3 weeks to come, but screws on the back of there absolutely perfectly, and then your flattener would go on there as normal, and that would give you extra backspace there, which means your focus tube wouldn't need to come out as far. Now this is the 27mm version, because this is the one I use in my one-shot colour camera. This is a mono setup. The mono setup I have the 36mm in, and I bought the 27 for my colour version because with the 2-inch filter adapter, which can screw on and go in there, which is 9mm thick, so that creates 36mm, the same as this, which means my back focus and my focus position is the same for both my mono setup and my one-shot colour setup. 36mm for these two, and the 36mm spacer here, so I barely have to change where the focus tube actually comes out to, which is really useful. So I just thought it'd be a good idea to share these with you, and I will put the links in the description to them on Aliexpress. I think they vary from about £20 down to £11 for the smallest one, plus shipping, which is only 2 or 3 quid. And well, they seem well made, solid enough, the threads are very good. You know, I can't fault them. M65, so if anybody knows of anywhere closer than China you can get them from, then I'd be interested to know, because I can't find any anywhere, certainly not at this price range. So that's the first little bit of a tip I wanted to give. The second one is, again, it's involving this space here. In my situation, I've got a camera, a filter wheel, a tilt adapter, and that's my 55mm back focus. So I'm thinking of adding a rotator. Now, there's no way I can fit a rotator in there, so the only other place to put one is in this gap here, which is now filled with an M65 spacer, which means I would need an M65 rotator. Again, they don't exist. M54 is the norm, M48. I think they do some slightly bigger ones. But Pegasus Astro have actually come in well, done a great job here with these adapters that they've had specially made for these Esprit scopes. This replaces that M74 adapter that's on your scope there, M74 to M65. This is an M74 to M54, so that goes on the back of the scope. And then this adapter that they've also produced is an M54 male back to the M65. So your flattener would go on there, that would go on your scope, and then you've got M54 male threads in between, which is where you can add a rotator. Now obviously Pegasus Astro have their own Falcon rotator which would fit in there nicely. It's M54. ZWO have just brought one out that's got M54 female spacers on each side. And if you're just thinking of a manual one, I think Williams Optics do an M54 manual one for about £100, which again would fit in that gap. So without these spacers, nigh on impossible I think to fit any accessories in here, let alone a rotator, due to the fact it's M65 threads and nothing exists with those threads on them. So these are from Pegasus Astro. They're not cheap, and I think they're not made to order, but I don't think the dealers tend to stock them, although I think since I asked for them they're now actually on First Light Optics website and Widescreen Centre, which is where I got these from. They are £38 each plus shipping. Took a couple of weeks, but like I say, they are specifically made for the Esprit 100, but I think the fact that the Esprit 120 has the same focuser, they will fit that as well. Now I'm not sure about the Esprit 150. If that has got the same size focuser, and it may well have, then they will probably fit that as well. Same with the 80mm Esprit. I'm not sure on the focuser on that, but I know they'll fit the 100 definitely, because that's what they're made for, and I'm 99.9% sure they'll fit the 120 as well, because I think they're the same focuses. So if you're like me and you've got no room here to fit anything else such as a rotator, then this is the place to fit it in here, and with these adapters from Pegasus you can do that. If you just want to add a spacer, then check the links in the description for where you can get those M65 spacers to stop your having your focus tube out so far and potentially stop any potential tilt or sag in your imaging train. So I just wanted to share those two ideas with you. I hope you found it useful, obviously for Esprit owners. If you did, you know what to do. And thanks very much again to all the subscribers, and thanks very much for watching this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Clear skies.